The green silence. A world apart. Earth never moved on from the age of reptiles. No mammals crawled from the shadows. No birds took to the skies. No insects hummed through the grass. There was only silence and scale and age. In the year 2283, humanity survived, not by adapting to nature, but by sealing itself away from it. The cities were domes of glass and titanium, thrumming with electric light, suspended in seas of steaming jungle. Outside the reinforced walls stretched a continent-spanning wilderness, untouched and eternal. A world of giants. Imra Callan stood at the observation deck of Station Viridian 9, her gloved fingers pressed to the dome's inner skin. Below her, sauropods the length of trains moved like drifting clouds, their heads swaying above the treetops. Their eyes were empty of emotion, blank mirrors of a world that had no need for us. They never looked up at the dome, never looked at her. Nothing ever did. That was what unnerved Imra the most. Not the size, the danger, or the wild unpredictability of these creatures, but the complete, unwavering indifference. She whispered to the silence, "Do you even know we're here?" The jungle did not answer. 2. The first one to go. Juno Miles was the first to vanish from Imra's team. She'd been the station's top geobotanist and a quiet presence in their sterile world of data and simulation. One morning, her quarters were empty, her badge still on the nightstand. Security footage showed her walking to the outer gate, barefoot. She paused at the threshold as the airlock hissed open. Then she stepped into the undergrowth, shoulders relaxed, as if going home. There was no panic. No violence. Just a slow, deliberate surrender. The footage cut out at the tree line. Imra watched it 5 times. On the 6th, she noticed something new. Just before Juno disappears into the trees, she looks up. Her lips move. Imra enhanced the video, slowed it, ran 1,000,000 audio filters. She read Juno's mouth over and over, until the words haunted her sleep. I hear them. 3. Out into the green. The council wanted explanations. Imra wanted answers. She proposed an expedition, a 4-day observation mission into the forest to find Juno, or what was left of her. She chose her team carefully. Rin, an ex-military scout turned drone tech. Ephra, a zoologist who specialized in dinosaur movement patterns. Cal, a linguist and semiotician obsessed with prehistoric symbolism. They crossed the threshold just before dawn, suited in quiet fabric cloaks and low-profile gear. The jungle swallowed them without ceremony. It was not like simulation. There were no birds. No buzzing flies. No rustling mammals in the brush. Only stillness. And the deep, slow breathing of giant things. 4. Watching giants. On the first night, they set camp beneath a circle of ancient cycads. In the near distance, a Therizinosaurus moved between trees, its massive claws glinting under moonlight. It grazed not on flesh, but on soft ferns, delicately lifting fronds to its beak. We're not prey, Ephra whispered, awestruck. We're not anything to them. Later, a herd of Camarasaurus passed silently across a ridge. One paused, looked toward their camp, and kept walking. It had seen them. There was no doubt. But it simply chose not to care. They move like dreams, Cal murmured. Like time forgot to stop them. The echoes. On the second day, they found strange markings carved into tree trunks, spirals and parallel lines, spaced evenly. Ephra dismissed them as scratch marks. Cal disagreed. Not random. They repeat. They mirror. The deeper they moved, the more unnatural the forest became. The air thickened. The light bent oddly through the leaves. Cal started humming tunelessly without realizing it. Rin began sketching impossible geometries in her notebook. And at dusk, they heard it, a slow, echoing tum, tum, tum. A Giganotosaurus, larger than any recorded specimen, walked directly past their camp. It did not roar, did not chase. It simply walked, eyes distant, its massive body swaying with the Earth's pulse. It passed within 20 meters. No one moved. The jungle didn't even flinch. 6. The standing ones. On the third morning, they found Juno. She stood in a clearing, hands on a tree, eyes wide open. Her breathing was slow, her posture too still. She blinked once every minute. When Imra called her name, she replied in a whisper. They don't speak in sound. They speak in rhythm. Cal began touching the same tree. His fingers twitched, then stilled. Cal, no, Imra said. We're leaving. But Cal just smiled faintly and whispered, It's older than language. By nightfall, both he and Rin were gone. Their gear lay folded by the fire. Ephra stood on watch with Imra. I think we're not the first species to listen, she said, voice shaking. I think we're just the first to resist. 7. The return. Imra came back alone. No injuries. No trauma. No clear answers. She claimed not to remember the last day. She spoke softly, smiled too much. Within weeks, she began spending nights in the arboretum. She planted a new species of tree with pale, translucent leaves that shimmered when no wind blew. She sang to it, and if you sat very still and closed your eyes, you might feel it hum back. Final thought. The world was never ours. It was only waiting for us to be quiet enough to hear it.